How many times have you ever been in like a depressive state and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, you have dreams and you have goals and you don't even know where to start, and the whole world is just like crashing down on you, right? And nobody really knows what's going on, and you have this maybe persona on the outside that everything is okay, but on the inside everything is not okay, and you just don't know your direction, where God is leading you. And for a while, my wife was going through something like that.
So right before the holidays of last year in 2019, I just was, I guess, lost and kind of like wasn't sure of what exactly I wanted to do. I know my dreams, I know my aspirations, but I felt like nothing was happening, and I felt stuck. And there were times where like I went through a few months, right? I guess like a good few months where I just felt so unhappy. I felt so alone in this world with so many people around me. I felt so alone and just not happy. I felt stuck. I didn't know what to do with myself. There were times where I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to go to church. To be honest, I didn't want to go to church. I'm being really, really vulnerable and transparent. But there were a lot of times where I told my husband, like, I am not going to church today, and he was like, oh, yes, you are.
Big facts.
And it's crazy because I remember specifically on 2 occasions where one of them I had a really, really breakdown, like a bad breakdown. And for the most part, if I feel, sad or just in a depressive state, I kind of I'll be there, but then I'll like try to get myself out somehow, whether it's praying, worship, talking to somebody, whatever the case may be. But this time I felt like helpless.
Yeah.
And, with my husband here, I still felt helpless. With God, I still felt helpless. And I couldn't go to my friends. I don't know why. I just couldn't. I couldn't go to anybody. I just dealt with it. But it was one time I remember on a Wednesday, I broke down in the room to Kenny, and I was just like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm done with everything. I don't want to be here no more. I just don't know anymore. I don't feel like God needs me for anything. Like I just don't know. I just don't know, and I just was done. I wanted to be done and throw in the towel. And I think he was kind of scared because he's never seen me like that before. Like when I say I had a breakdown, like a meltdown, I really, really did. And he's never seen me weep, and it was that cry for like, I need help. And I think he was so afraid he reached out to our pastor's wife, Pastor Sharice.
Had to hit the 911.
He didn't know what to do.
Like, Pastor, I need you real quick.
Yeah, and she reached out to me, and honestly, her words of encouragement was awesome, but I still was just stuck. And it was a Wednesday, and we ended up going to church after I said I didn't want to go. It was a Wednesday, and when I got to church, literally everything the pastor said was for me, for that moment. It felt like he was literally sitting in our bedroom with us. When I say everything he said in his message from beginning to end was literally for me, like he was sitting right there listening to our conversation, and I was just like, wow, that's how you know it's God. That's how you know it's God, because Pastor didn't know anything at this point. At that point, Pastor Sharice didn't even know. Nobody knew anything, just me and Kenny. And that was the first time. It wasn't until like months after that he would reach out to Pastor Sharice. But there was a second time where it was the same exact situation, and I didn't want to go to church, and I was like, I'm not going, I'm done. And he ended up pushing me, and I went, and literally that other message, it was 2 messages I know specific, was literally for me. Again, like the pastor was sitting right there in the room with us. Like, that's how I know how on time God is. But it was like months after months that I just felt this way, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And he kept telling me, you need to get up, you need to do something, you need to figure something out, you need to, whatever. And it was right before Christmas where I was like, I know we don't have that much money because we didn't.
Yep.
And I was like, but this little bit of money that I have, let me go buy this new machine because, mind you, we've been printing t-shirts for almost 5 years. And but we had 2 different machines before and they both broke or whatever. So I was like, let me just buy this new machine and I'll make the money back really quick because it's around the holidays. And we made it back really quick, right?
Really quick.
And the small business has, you know, been really, really good.
Yeah.
But honestly, I could say that that depressive state I was in, I don't know. I can't even explain it. But I know that with the crafts that I do now and everything like that, it has helped me to, like, you know, put my mind into a different place. Like my creativity, I guess, is what keeps me going. Because, you know, I have a really creative mind already, but God has really been like putting new things into me.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I feel like, you know, once she got the Cricut machine, like everything shifted in the home as far as, you know, her approach to everyday life. You know, everything was just different, and you can see how invested, you know, she is in just by serving people. And I think in life we get into a depressive state because we don't know who to serve sometimes. We don't know, you know, what is our calling or what we're supposed to do. I mean, yeah, we can be ambitious, you know, but sometimes ambition doesn't turn into, you know, the motivation that you need to actually start serving in the way that you should. And we get lost in, you know, a lot. And as from a male's perspective and on the outside kind of looking in, even on the inside and the outside looking in, because I'm on the inside, but I'm on the outside because I'm looking at my wife, and this is like, dang, what can you do as a husband? What can you do? You know what I'm saying? And many times we feel like we're supposed to be Superman for our women, and I didn't feel like I was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like I was, you know, her go-to like I am normally, and it was like nothing could stop her from this state of depression. But sometimes you just gotta keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, because you never know, man. And look at what God has done already. Like, she's got this Cricut machine, and now she's served well over, you know, hundreds of people. I think by this time, hundreds of shirts that I've seen her create in just a short amount of time. And she's been pushing, and now, you know, the business is doing, you know, even better. And most of you guys know our story, where, you know, we were just at a place with Christian like just 2 years ago. We lost 65% of our income, and we gave up our dance studio, and I went back to teaching in dance studios and doing motivational speaking and stuff. But even with speaking, it's not as flowing as it is. As I would like it to be just yet, because I'm still kind of young in the game. But you just kind of have to have that faith that everything is going to get through. And I think that's the one thing that I had with you, was just like, I just kept praying and just kept having faith. Like, you know, I can't, because, you know, my wife is very, very strong, and to see her in that mode was just like, yo. That's why I had to call Pastor. I was like, yo, 911, because
it really got bad, because it was to the point where, like, it started turning into like suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate to say that, it was there to that point where I was just like, yo, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this no more. I was so wrapped up in everything else that was around me, but I wasn't investing in myself. And it got me to the point where I just like felt like I stopped caring.
And many times, like, you know, the enemy will sit there and try and play those tricks on your mind, yo. He'll sit there and try and play those tricks like, oh, look, you know what I'm saying? You're not worth nothing. Oh, this stopped, that stopped. Oh, now the photography stopped. Oh, snap, like y'all lost y'all business. Oh, snap, what y'all gonna do? Like, he'll sit there and try and do any and everything to try to persuade you to go in the opposite route from where God wants you to go. And we're here to just tell somebody, like, you just can't quit. You can't sit here and just allow the enemy to sit there and play those tricks on your mind.
And reach out to people, because for me, I have a mentor, I have close friends, I have a whole team of women, but none of them knew anything. My family didn't know anything. It was like a feeling of like everyone's so busy with their own lives. They're too busy. They don't care about me. I felt alone, and sometimes alone is good, but sometimes alone is not good when you're alone with your thoughts. It's like not healthy for you. Your mind will replay, and the devil will be right there trying to instill so many negative things into your mind, and you start to believe it. And you know, I used to look at my husband and be angry and be like, you out there motivating all these people in the world, but you can't motivate your wife that lives right here. And not that he wasn't, but I wasn't. Sometimes when you're too familiar, I guess, with people, it's like it's not affecting you like it would someone else, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, because it's like when you're like with your kids sometimes, or even our kids sometimes. Like, I'll sit there and try and motivate our kids, but then they probably look at me like I got 3 heads on, you know what I'm saying? Versus somebody, when I go into a school or I go into an event, it's different because they're not familiar with me. It's always like, you know, when you're raising your kids, you say, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that, and you're right, but it don't make sense until somebody else say the same exact thing that you just said. So sometimes we need another voice, you know, in our lives for it to actually come to full circle. And so here's the bottom line, y'all. At the end of the day, yes, we put out positivity, and we will continue to put out the positivity because we believe in the power of it. You know what I'm saying? But we go through things just like everybody else. We go through, you know, our trials and tribulations still just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we being transparent with y'all. Like, we have to. Why? Because there's somebody out there right now that's going through the same exact thing.
And the thing is that a lot of times when, like for me, I was going to church, I was whatever, doing my regular routines every day, and not one person would have known that I was going through it. I was fighting this battle literally internally alone and felt like no one was there. Even God, I was angry with God, right? There was many times where I was so angry with God, like, why this, why that, why is this happening, why do I feel this way, why don't I see anything, you know, coming to fruition, why isn't things changing in our lives? Like, you know, we were going through the battle with our house right after Christian, we were going through things financially, it was just so much going on, and then I didn't see anything happening in my own life, and it was just like, why? You know, I was just so angry with God. But you know, this is why, like, when I say over and over, like, that I'm so grateful and thankful for everybody who sees my vision with the Kenjo's Creations and just like supports me. I am so grateful. Like, this is why I wanted to make this video, not only for a testimony and for encouragement, but also to thank you guys, because it truly puts me in a place where, like, I get so excited making things.
Yes.
I am in
You guys should see her. Like, I got another order coming in. I got another order coming in. Like, I got another order coming in. And it's like bling, 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 bling. And it's like, it's super dope to see. And I'm just like, man,
the
wow.
Difference, right?
Yeah, it's a complete 180. Like, before, it's like my wife would just wake up and then go back to sleep. And then it's like, dang, like, you gonna get up, you gonna read, you gonna do something, you know? And she just wasn't doing it. And then now it's like she's getting up early, she's doing, you know, her devotional, she's in her word. Like, not saying that she wasn't in it before, it's just a different shift right now.
It's
from
like
what,
intentional.
Yeah, so basically what we're saying is that, are you willing, God was saying like this, are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to invest in yourself? Even if you don't have all the money right now, are you willing to invest in yourself, right? And we didn't have all the money for that cricket machine. Like, we really couldn't afford it. But it ain't about what we can afford. It's what God wants to give us at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And we said, all right, cool. Like, let's just make it happen. If you believe, babe, then I believe it. And make it happen. I'm not going to sit here and put my wife down and be like, nah, maybe next month. No. And I was willing to do anything to make sure that she was happy, to make sure that she was going to get to that next level. Why? Because I had to have her on the same level as me mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm up. I'm reaching out to people. I'm reaching out to this person, reaching out to that person. Y'all see the podcast is starting to pop right now. So, it's like, when you invest into yourself, and then you invest into your marriage, and you're investing into your relationship with God as well too, watch what happens, man. You just gotta believe it. You gotta go for it. I'm not saying be stupid or whatever, and be frivolous or whatever with your money. But what I'm saying is, one small seed, that tiny mustard seed of faith, like that one machine, changed everything in my wife's life.
Again, and I am so grateful. Like, this is why I take it so seriously. When, like, people are reaching out to me for orders, and, like, we'll message each other for a while until I know that they're getting exactly what they want, what they ask for, their vision. And if they don't really have a vision, I'm like, what about this? What about that? Do you like this? Do you like that? And we're back and forth until I know exactly what they want, what they're looking for, and they're getting exactly what they want and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I can't even, like, explain to you, like, in words how blessed I have been feeling, how blessed I am to have everyone support me like you guys have. And honestly, I have a goal, and every month I write a goal, and God has been exceeding that expectation. And I have a goal for not only a monthly but a yearly, eventually financial goal that I want to meet, and I know that God is going to meet it. I know that God is going to meet it.
Tell them the goal. Tell them the goal. Tell them the goal. You ain't going to have it if you don't tell them the goal. They want to know the goal.
The goal is $1 million in 1 year. Like, I know God can do it. I don't know what year, but I know it's coming soon, and I believe that it's going to happen.
This year, my wife, I'm saying it this year. I'm not saying she said what year. I'm saying this year. This year starting, what's today? Today's April something. Whatever it 25th. Is. April 25th that we're recording this. I'm not sure when you're going to be seeing this, but April 25th, 2020. By April 25th, 2021, my wife will have $1 million. Well, we gonna have $1 million, because what's mine is yours, baby.
And let me tell y'all, you got to pray dangerously.
Yes.
Do not put a limit to God, because when you cap it, that's it. Do not put a cap on it.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit here and say I can't see myself in 1 year making $1 million on this business.
Right.
I can see it. So I'm not putting a cap on it, because I know God can do it. Right. I know he's going to do it, and I know he will do it.
Right. And we ain't talking about $1 million gross. We talking about $1 million profit. Profit. Gross? Profit. So $1 million profit, my wife, in 1 year's time. We're going to come back to this video. Y'all going to see it. And we're going to be like, bling, 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 bling. And let's start blessing more people. We here to serve, guys. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want these t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God. That is who you are. And that is who he's been to us, through the good times, through the dark times. And we just stay with him no matter what. You have to stay with him. We say it all the time. We change the mind, we change the game. Right, Papa? When we change the mind, we change the game, guys. Kenjo's Creations has now officially launched. Go get yours. Let's go.